Alright, hello there everyone. This is John from Nickathan Gaming. We are going into week 6 of Golidcia development. We talked about the different strategies and difficulties in week 5, but now I've actually implemented them. There is a bit of an issue with unit on unit violence at this moment, so you won't be seeing any full-fledged battles between units, but I'll still let you see the enemy demolishing my base for once. So there are 5 difficulties: novice, casual, moderate, intense, and brutal, which is equivalent to very easy, medium, hard, and very hard. And right now they are set to the very hard difficulty or brutal using the blitz strategy. They have 4 different strategies. They have the blitz strategy where they just build units right away and then go in into attack. They have the defensive strategy, which you'll see next, where they focus on their walls instead of attacking. And then they have their adaptive strategy, where they do like a smooth mix um, between the two. Now we can see that they're building their troops and they're also upgrading as they go. They've actually got 4 building at one time, and we can just see this steady stream of their troops coming through, because that's all the blitz strategy is you build up until you get that first building, and then you just send a swarm of units. So it's going to be very hard to defend against, but like I talked about, if you can do something to deter this first horde of people, um, then you should be fine. But yeah, that was the blitz strategy. It's quite scary. It still looks like there's some issue because they shouldn't be able to have this many troops with one house, so I'm probably not making sure that they have houses, but I'll be adjusting that before week 7. But let's go and watch the defensive strategy, which is going to be a bit easier on me. Alright, now we are starting the defensive strategy. In the defensive strategy, they focus on resources and building their walls. So right now they're working on their main 2 farm market lumber mill, and then afterwards they're going to be building the walls and then upgrading the wall and the town hall until they are max level, focusing on units last. Oh, and they've actually opted to start with the archery instead, which is definitely a viable option for them to do, which is because they just don't have the money for the walls. And that's one of the issues with the brutal, is the brutal will, the very hard usually goes straight to units instead of keeping up walls. But there will be a few adaptations that I make after this video where you will see in week 7, hopefully. But alright, I'll let them come through and kill me, and then we'll go and see their adaptive strategy. Alright, so now we are looking at the adaptive strategy. Now, with the 3 different brutals, it's pretty much the same, where in brutal they always start by maxing out their resource capacity. They max out the amount of resources they're getting per second, and then they start with the main strategy of building things. Looks like they're actually going with an archery again. With the adaptive, they kind of do a mix between um, the blitz and the adaptive, and I will have them focusing a bit more on their set thing instead of just going straight into building units. And it's actually ignoring their um, unit limit right now, but that's something you'll see changed for uh, week 3. Now, in our next one, we're going to be looking at when they do the casual. So let's go and see that. All right, now we are in a casual game. In the casual game, they start by building their first 3 resources, so farm, market, and lumber mill, in a random order. And then after that, they just do things randomly however they want. So, casual is the first one where they don't just swarm you with units because now they're doing things in a fairly random fashion. We see that they have the gate, they're upgrading units. They haven't built any units, but they have built a wall, and they're just kind of upgrading things randomly as they get the money to do it. Now, it looks a bit scarier on casual, but they're actually taking a much longer time as well. So the time between each building, upgrade, training unit, unlocking of upgrades in casual is going to be 10 seconds plus or minus 4 seconds. So between 6 and 14 seconds for casual. For brutal, it's between 0 and 1 second. Um, Intense, it's between 1 and 5 seconds randomly. Moderate would be between 3 and 9 seconds. Casual, like I said, would be between 6 and 14 seconds. And then novice, the easiest one, is going to be a decision time from 10 to 20 seconds. So they're waiting almost half a minute, but more on average, a quarter of a minute between every time they decide to build a house, train a unit, upgrade a building, unlock an upgrade, you know, send troops to attack, anything like that. Now, they haven't built any units to attack me with yet, so I could definitely just be in here attacking them because they are doing things randomly. But I might add a thing. Yeah, I think I'll make a note where I want them to train units as you train units, or maybe after you get like a certain amount, just to give them some intelligent defense. Because at this time, they still don't have any walls, they don't have any units, and I can just march right on into their base because they've not done anything. And I mean, even with just one troop, they could wipe me out. So yeah, I definitely want to, for week 7, add some more intelligence to the casual and novice side so they do actually go and attack you at some point in time. Now, I'm going to stop it here just because the casual might just never train a unit if they never get there, or they might wait to train a unit until they've fully upgraded everything. So, in the next pause that you see will be on novice, and I'll be talking about that, but it's pretty much what we've seen before. All right, and now we are here on, um, oh my, we are here on the novice where they just so happen to randomly build a barracks and a house at the very beginning, and on novice they've stumbled upon the blitz strategy and they've defeated me. quite wonderfully. So let's play casual or play novice again to see if they do the same strategy. Okay, so we're trying the novice again. Because they are random, they shouldn't be doing the same strategy. But it does look like they came upon building an archery um, first. And there we go. Now we can see them taking a really long time. And they did actually train that archer, which is going to destroy my base. So it seems like more often than not, the novice and the casual can stumble upon the blitz fairly easily, but it takes casual a little bit longer because they get more buildings out there. So I might even need to put in something on top of my insistence that they go and attack you every now and then, that they don't attack you so quickly. Um, but that's pretty much the strategies that we have so far after um, the few days that I've had since I've been back. Um, I do want to say that I've picked out the different monsters that would show up in the Beast Lair. I'll actually show those off a little bit. So this would be the first monster that we would add, which is a bear. The bear would be like 2 times the normal unit, so he's going to be about as expensive as an officer, if not more. Um, take up 2 units worth of space in your army and have a good amount of health. He comes fully animated, thankfully. The next one is going to be this bull tank. He's going to start off um, like this, and then through upgrading, he would slowly gain armor and weapons until he looks like this. Now, the bull tank is going to have a ridiculous amount of health. He's going to be worth, I don't know, maybe 10 units or so, because he is going to be about as strong with as much health as 10 units. But you do need to upgrade him quite a bit because maybe in this form, a archer or a mage would be able to, take him out fairly easily. And then our last one that I was thinking of adding, because I don't know if I want to add any slimes. If we want to add slimes, I do have slimes that I can add, but I think these would just be more NPCs that you encounter in the campaign instead of actual usable characters. Or maybe I'll have like a slime group with each one is worth like a fifth of a unit or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I would even just do a StarCraft type thing where you can play as the monsters instead of the humans. But for now, it would just be the bear, the bull tank, and the dragons. Now, when you first build a dragon, it's going to spawn an egg. Here we go. It's going to spawn one of these eggs here. The egg will sit um, in front of your beast layer for like 5 seconds or something like that. I think it was like 30 seconds. I've got the notes down in my book how long I want the egg to take to hatch. But yeah, it's going to start as the egg. When the egg hatches, then it starts off as this small dragon. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, we want the realistic baby. There we go. So it starts off as this baby one after it hatches from the egg. And I'm not sure if I want the dragon to upgrade after a period of time or after killing units? I think it's going to upgrade over time. So if you have the dragon for 1 minute, then it turns into the bigger dragon. And then when you've had it for 5 minutes, it turns into its adult form. I also have different skins for the dragon, which is great. So, yeah, I can do the blue dragon, the or water dragon, poison dragon, fire dragon, death dragon, light dragon, and that's it. And I was thinking maybe I would pick like randomly from these, and then the dragon would have some special skill that it does. Where water dragon has extra defense, earth dragon or poison dragon, not sure. Fire dragon does like fire breath attacks, doing extra damage. I would need to really think about what I want the dragons to do, but I at least have them selected with their animators set up. They just need to be put into the game at this point. Um, but yeah, that's my update for week 6. Week 7, instead of focusing on the monsters like I showed you here, because we do have the monsters ready to go, but instead of focusing on putting them into the game, I'm probably going to focus on making the battles working. Um, and yeah, I want some unit on unit violence with playable game before I make the Beast Lair functional. So we've got lots to look forward to going into week 7 and going forward. And I might even just go with the playable demo before I even add the dragons and just have that as like a coming soon feature. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our update next week.